request the delegates who are presenting the feedback sessions, please come and sit forward.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯ್ತು.
Valedictory function.
Let us all rise. The dignitaries have arrived. I request you all to give them a standing ovation and put your hands together in welcoming them.
Dr. Matthew, Principal, is escorting the distinguished guest to the dais. His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. K.A. William, Dr. Giridhar Rao, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Reverend Father Madhuri Muthu, Reverend Father Avinash, Reverend Father Arogya Anthony, and heads of various institutions. Please be seated.
The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. It is a matter of immense pride to stand here before all of you. I, Vaishnavi R.K.,
Merlin T. Matthew.
will be the host for this function.
Today marks the end of our very first two-day international seminar on higher education, emerging trends, challenges and innovations. It has been a truly special and significant event for us. And it is on occasions like this we get opportunities to test our knowledge, know our capabilities and strengthen our skills. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to everyone present here. Respected dignitaries, professors, delegates, teachers and students, I welcome all of you to this valedictory function.
George Herbert once said, prayer should be the key of the day and the lock of the night. I like to call upon Victoria and team to invoke the Almighty.
I come before you today, and as Thank you, Victoria and team, for creating a heavenly atmosphere. Listening is paying full attention to others and welcoming them into our very beings. The beauty of listening is that those who are listened to start feeling accepted, says Henry Nolan. May I take the pleasure of requesting our respected Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Secretary, Mysore Diocesan Educational Society, to welcome the gathering.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. His Excellency Most Reverend Dr. K. William, Dr. Giridhar Rao, MS, Reverend Father Madlemuthu, Reverend Father Avinash, Reverend Father Arokya, Dr. Priya Matthew, Dr. Asha P. Patros, CEOs, heads of the institutions, other dignitaries and delegates, and dear staff and students, good evening to one and all. Translate the good things of your learning into the welfare of humanity, and you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. It gives me immense joy to welcome all of you to the valedictory function of the two-day international seminar on higher education, emerging trends, challenges and innovations. Indeed, I am overwhelmed with a sense of appreciation for St.Joseph's College of Education, Mysore, and International Gandhian Initiatives for Non-Violence and Peace, India and Canada, for diffusing these 2 days with the research ambience of knowledge exploration and knowledge propagation. This valedictory is a celebration of the commendable achievement accomplished through meticulous planning and flawless execution of this international event. And this is one of the most befitting scholarly deliberations that this college could dream and actualize during our year-long Jubilee celebrations. As the Secretary of Mysore Diocesan Educational Society, I would like to place and record that MDES is proud of this wonderful institution. One tree can start a forest, one word can frame a goal, and one candle can wipe out darkness. A true leader has a confidence to stand alone. On this important occasion, we are extremely delighted with the gracious presence of our beloved leader, His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. K. William, the Bishop of Mysore and the President of Mysore Diocesan Educational Society. The visionary strategies of His Excellency in the field of education have been the most dependable guiding principles in the growth of our institutions across the southern districts of Karnataka. The courage to make tough decisions and the compassion to listen to the need of others is an art of His Excellency. He is a true leader with motherly love and fatherly confidence. We are blessed to have him to preside over this valedictory function of the two-day international seminar. I am so glad to welcome you, Your Excellency. And I request Reverend Father Madlemuthu, Reverend Father Avinash, Dr. Priya Matthew, and other delegates to felicitate His Lordship. Dr. Giridhar Rao, MS, the Joint Director of Collegiate Education on this valedictory function. He has been a great friend and supporter of St. Joseph's College of Education. a man of high scholarship in the disciplines of sociology and English literature with wide and rich experience in management and administration. We regularly benefit from his expertise in growing this college. It's a great honor that you have bestowed upon us by accepting our invitation and consenting to be part of this valedictory program. I accord a genial welcome to you, sir. I request Sir to occupy the chair in front, and I request His Lordship and other dignitaries on the stage to felicitate Dr. Giridhar Rao, the Honorable Joint Director of Collegiate Education, Mysore. Once again, a hearty welcome to you, dear sir, and thank you, dignitaries. It's my turn to extend a gracious and inclusive welcome to Reverend Father Madalai Muthu, the Treasurer of MDES and Cluster Correspondent of St.Joseph Women's College, Sakali and Ramnali, Reverend Father Avinash, the Administrator of MDES, and priest in charge of St. Joseph's Institutions, Jalexapuram campus, and Reverend Father Aruki Antoni, priest in charge of St. Joseph Central Schools, Vijayanagar Hall. Their significant contribution towards the success of this seminar has been invaluable. Welcome, dear Reverend Fathers. Dear friends, this international seminar is an outcome of months of preparations, efficiently and effectively led by Dr. Priya Matthew, the Principal of St. Joseph's College of Education, and Dr. Asa P. Patros, the convener of the seminar, together with the illustrious staff and students of this college. I would like to gladly welcome all of you to this function. I would like to welcome Mr. Moses Jayashekhar, CEO MDS, Mrs. Joyce Lobo, CEO St. Joseph Central Schools MDS, and Mr. Sebi Maveli, CEO Training and Development, MDS, together with the heads of our various schools and colleges. Dear CEOs and heads, it's your collective cooperation and sense of belongingness have gone a long way in the smooth conduct of this seminar. I welcome all of you to this gathering. We also have a special guest today, Dr. Hemachandra P., an Associate Professor and Special Officer in NEP. Welcome you, sir. Referring to my words in the inaugural function of this two-day international seminar, I believe the seven honest serving men, namely what, why, when, who, which, where and how, have diligently worked throughout the deliberations during these 2 days. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Father. On behalf of everyone gathered here, we welcome you. Our future growth relies on competitiveness and innovation, skills and productivity. These in turn rely on the education of our people. I would like to invite Ms. Shalom Sanata, Assistant Professor of St. Joseph's College of Education, onto the stage to present the report on this successful two-day international seminar.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais, the heads from various institutions of MDES, dear participants, faculty, and my dear students. I, Shalom Sanata, Assistant Professor, St. Joseph's College of Education, take this opportunity to render the report of the two-day international seminar on higher education, emerging trends, challenges, and innovations organized by St. Joseph's College of Education, Valedictory, Mysore, in collaboration with the International Gandhian Initiatives for Non-Violence and Peace, IGINP, Canada, on July 28th, 29th, 2022. This idea of the two-day international seminar was put forth by the management way back during the pandemic, 2020, on our successful online workshops for school teachers of MDS and many other workshops, including the recent teacher enrichment workshop for school teachers. The preparation for this international seminar started almost a month before, with a good research on various areas of the seminar, like selecting the themes, the sub-themes, the speakers, the chairpersons, their accommodation, the technical requirements, infrastructure, etc., to bestow the ambience which can raise up to the international standards. The day one of the two-day international seminar began by invoking God's blessings and proceeded with the inaugural function. The chief guests were His Excellency Most Reverend Dr. Thomas Anthony Valedictory, Emeritus Bishop of Mysore, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Secretary and Correspondent, MDES, Dr. Jagannath Dange, Professor, Kuvempu University, Shimoga, Karnataka, Ms. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, Member of IGINP, Father Avinash, Administrator, MDES, Father Madalai Muthu, Treasurer, MDES, Dr. Priya Matthew, the Principal, St. Joseph's College of Education, and Dr. Asha P. Patros, International Seminar Convener and Assistant Professor, St. Joseph's College of Education, Mysore. The inaugural session began at 10:25 a.m. on 28 July 2022. The welcome address was delivered by Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Secretary, MDS, and the overview of the seminar was given by Dr. Priya Matthew, Principal, St. Joseph's College of Education. The inaugural address was given by Dr. Jagannath Dange, Professor, Kuvempu University, and the address of keynote speakers, Ms. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, Member of IGINP. The presidential address was delivered by His Excellency Most Reverend Dr. Thomas Valedictory, Emeritus Bishop of Mysore, followed by a formal vote of thanks by Dr. Asha P. Patros. First technical session began at 12:30 p.m. The session's keynote speaker, Dr. Jagannath Dange, presented on the theme Challenges and Emerging Trends of Higher Education, emphasizing on the quality of learning, teaching, and quality of research. The second technical session began at 2:30 p.m. The session's keynote speaker, Dr. Jill Carr Harris, highlighted the importance of why peace education is important and why one must integrate non-violence in peace education, emphasizing on strategies of peace education put forward in a circumstantial course of action. The parallel presentation sessions in the afternoon began at 2:30 p.m. and ended at 3:30 p.m. All the four sessions comprise of various research scholars and students presenting with sub-themes, say innovative practices in higher education, peace education and non-violence, multidisciplinary and holistic education, women empowerment, inclusive education and equitable education, followed by techno-pedagogy skills of 21st century. The day commenced with a cultural exchange program by the students of St. Joseph's College of Education, Mysore, and the PKM College of Education, Badampam, Kerala. The sessions of the second day, that is on the 29th July 2022, it began at 9 a.m. with 3 parallel presentation sessions at respective rooms. There were exclusively 21 paper presenters who presented research paper on inclusive education, graphology in higher education, teaching and learning mathematics through activities, innovation in teaching children with dyslexia, and many more. The third technical session began at 10:15 a.m. by Dr. K. Tyagu, Assistant Professor, Central University of Kerala, presenting on the theme Techno-Pedagogy Skills, significant in describing features of phobia and mania of mobile phones. He also threw light on digital frosting, natural and artificial intelligence, gamified learning, augmented learning, nano learning, automation, and many more. The fourth technical session began at 12:07 p.m. Dr. Soni Mary Varghese, Assistant Professor, Peak Memorial Training College, Kerala, spoke on the theme Preparing Prospective Teachers for 21st Century Inclusive Education, highlighting on the essential rules of 21st century learning, principles of an inclusive classroom, qualities of a teacher necessary in an inclusive classroom, etc. All the sessions were planned with lunch and refreshments for everyone both the days. The last 4 parallel sessions of the day 2 began at 2:30 p.m. up to 3:45 p.m., chaired by various eminent educators. The last important part of the 2-day international seminar was the Valedictory program, which is now ongoing. On the note to conclude, we, the B.Ed fraternity, feel very proud to be hosting this event as part of our Golden Jubilee celebration of St. Joseph's College of Education. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Learning and innovation go hand in hand. The arrogance of success is to think what you did yesterday will be sufficient for tomorrow. William Polland. With much respect, I humbly invite Dr. Giridhar Rao, MS, Joint Director, Collegiate of Education, to address the gathering.
Honorable President of the function, Reverend Father William, dignitaries on the dais, the teaching faculty, the principal, the teachers, the students, the delegates from different parts of the country, the resource persons. Good evening to all. At the outset, I am very delighted to come over to this function. I am very happy to be a part of this grand program of valedictory function of the 2 days international seminar on higher education, emerging trends, challenges and innovations. I am happy to know that St.Joseph College, one of the premier institutions of college of education, which has a history of over 50 years, doing a great job in this part of the country, contributing to the enhancement of higher education, giving quality education to the rural as well as the urban population of this part of the region. I really feel happy to know that the today's seminar, the 2 days seminar, international seminar on higher education, has taken up the most relevant themes such as peace education, inclusive education, empowerment of women, and a multidisciplinary approach to education. Teacher education, in fact, has a distinct place in the higher education because you prepare the teachers for future. You prepare the model teachers for future. In turn, they prepare a model society. They mold a model, a healthy society. So teachers play a crucial role in building the nation and society at large. And a school which prepares model teachers definitely contributes to building of an ideal society. And the theme selected for this seminar is most relevant in the sense the seminar addresses the current problems of the society. So everywhere we come across communal violence, intolerance, suppression of women, atrocities against the weaker sections, and so on. So even though we live in a scientific age with modern technologies and democratic principles ruling the country, the problems which are confronted by the society in the past still hang over in our society. It is the education that can address these problems efficiently and eradicate all these problems. And to educate the society with humanitarian principles and values, we need teachers with efficiency and with the knowledge of dealing with the problems of the society. So in this direction, the seminar, which took up the major topics such as peace, inclusiveness, empowerment, with a multidisciplinary approach, is most relevant, as I feel it is most relevant to the present day scenario. I would like to give an example of how to make our learning or knowledge applicable to society by an example. So you might have heard you might be knowing about the famous photographer Kevin Carter, who won the Pulitzer Prize for photography, the best photography, way back in 1994. So he took up a photo of a vulture waiting to eat the flesh of a little girl which was about to die in the famine-stricken place in Sudan. The vulture was waiting for the child to die so that it could eat the flesh of the child. So the vulture did not kill the child, but it was waiting the child to die naturally. And the photographer, Kevin Carvin, he took about 20 minutes to catch an impressive photograph of the situation. And finally he took up the photograph, and the photograph won the Pulitzer Prize in 1994. And he got commendations from various corners of the world. But one man asked him what happened to the child at last. The photographer did not have an answer because he was busy with taking a photograph, an impressive photograph. He did not care for the child the malnutritious child which was crawling towards a food center nearby. And he was very sorry he felt very sorry when he listened to the voice at the other end, who asked him what happened to the child finally. So of course the child has died later, and the photographer realized that I could not feel the humanitarian side of the problem. So he took up a photograph, a nice photograph which won the international prize, but he was not able to recognize the humanitarian side of his profession. So whatever education we get from the schools and colleges, we should be able to apply it in our real world, in the real situation. So we should be able to understand the real situation, and we should apply our learning in our daily life, in our everyday life. So we must respond to the problems of the society, and that is the message which we can give by citing this example. The 2-day seminar, which revolved around the themes like peace education, inclusiveness, inclusive education, and also the women empowerment, so revolves around the burning problems of the society. because our society is now in a state of turmoil. So everywhere we listen to the problems like communal violence, hatredness, intolerance between religions and communities, and such other humanitarian problems. The humanitarian values are degenerating. Our schools and colleges do not address the humanitarian values properly. Along with the scientific development, we should also encourage and emulate humanitarian values in our children. And the proper forum for the enhancement of human values is education. And the education system has two roles to play. One is to enhance our knowledge and skills, and the other is to address the societal problems. So these are the dual role of education which our teachers should inculcate in their profession. And there is no other profession greater than teaching, because teachers shape the society, teachers shape other professionals, and the contributions of the teachers are innumerable in our society. So by saying these few words, I feel very happy to be a part of this program, and I hope the 2 days seminar on higher education trends and challenges have benefited a lot to all the participants, and what you have learned should disseminate to the society. And once again I thank the organizers of this program for inviting me to this function and address you with a few words. And once again I thank Reverend Father Williams and also all the organizers of this program for inviting me. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Teacher education institutes prepare the model for teachers, and teachers become the models to create an ideal society. Education can address the problems in the society that still prevails presently in such a technologically advanced era. Thank you, sir, for also telling us how teachers play a main role in building a humanitarian society by giving us an example of how Kevin Carter felt about his award-winning photograph. Education is really important, and teachers shape the society through education. Thank you, sir, for such an enriching and thought-provoking words of encouragement.
Being the educators, we all know the importance of feedback, as it helps us to reflect on ourselves by anything as to be better by continuous improvement. Now it's time to hear from our delegates about their experience of the seminar. May I request the delegates to come forward and share your experience.
Good evening to one and all. And I work for an NGO in Bangalore called ID for Change. Firstly, I would like to thank the organizers of this event for arranging such a wonderful conference and seminar. It was a really great experience to come to visit this beautiful campus, to spend these 2 days with all of you. It was very well organized, and such great hospitality. We could really see the efforts that have been taken by the entire team, the students, committee members, teachers, professors, everybody who was involved to actually make everything happen, to make us feel welcome, and to make sure everything went off successfully. The technical sessions were very thought-provoking, and so were the paper presentations. One thing which I found very nice was to see the unity among the students, and it is something really wonderful to see how they were encouraging their peers. Whoever was going up for the presentations, they were really supporting them. And that is something that I hope you continue to take forward even when you become teachers. It's very, very important, and it can be a resource and a source of strength for you. So that's something I would like to appreciate. One thing I felt during the paper presentation sessions, and maybe you could take this forward when you go and attend other conferences, is really contributing to the discussions, to the questions, because there is a slot given for asking questions. And we talk about creative thinking and critical thinking in our students, but in order to have that in classrooms, we need to do it. So I think that was one thing which we can all try to, do more, reflect on everything that is being said, and really engage in each and every, presentation and discussion. I think that's it. Thank you once again for this opportunity. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mahesya, for your kind experience and words. Now call upon Karishma from PKM College.
Good evening, one and all. Respected dignitaries on and off the dais. First of all, thank you for the opportunity for giving me your feedback. I will be mincing my words if I say that this is just a wonderful international seminar experience. Basically, it was beyond wonderful. It was immaculately organized and well executed one. It was actually just like the one who has said me before. It was well organized in every spectrum, right from the decorations to the way they welcomed us, the way the setting has been arranged, and everything was so properly organized in such a way that there was a comfort in which we could listen to the sessions so peacefully. And I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate the organizers for picking the topic, the higher education, the trends, challenges and the innovations. Because basically this is something that we actually require in the present post-pandemic and also the technologically induced world. And especially the technical sessions, I must say that it was extremely informative, that it helped us in a way to give us a diverse thinking in the teaching learning practices. And as a teacher student, as a student teacher, I can say that it was something that we knew, but we did not know the way in which we should think about. So there was so many things, so many new things were introduced to us that we can actually implement in the classroom. And one thing I would like to mention is about the student exchange program. It was absolutely wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful, and it gave us an opportunity to have a glimpse into the Karnataka cultures. And I would also like to thank the St.Joseph's College of Education for welcoming the PKM College of Education in such a warm manner, and for giving us an opportunity to present the papers, and also for the student exchange program. Thank you.
Thank you, Karishma. Now I call upon Ms. Sanketa. She is Assistant Professor in Physics and also the alumni of St. Joseph College of Education.
Good evening, everyone. It feels immense pleasure to stand before all of you as an alumni of the college. There's a Sanskrit saying, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Swapakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha, which means a learned person has integrated vision of life. Obviously, a chariot led by Dr. Priya Matthew and the convener Dr. Asha ma'am has really enlightened all of us with the amazing theme of the conference, International Seminar on Emerging Trends in Higher Education, the Challenges and the Innovation. Right from the day when we have arrived, the hospitality was simply amazing. I came around at 8:30. It was a long journey of 9 hours, and I really had to thank the student Victoria. Thank you for taking care of me so nicely. Literally, it was ready to even take my luggage, go to my room. It's like I had filled up the alumni form, and at last we had a message saying, "Welcome back home." I truly felt at home here. Thank you for being so amazing. I know, being a student of St.Joseph's College of Education, I know how visionary our secretary, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, is. I know how much perfection he needs in any of the function to be conducted in the college. And dear juniors, dear students, you are fabulous in working in different committees. As my friend said, you have amazing unity. The way the entire work was decentralized really needs a great applause. And the technical sessions were simply amazing. Thank you to every organizer for making it happen. I always fought with Priyam. I'm saying, after going back from this college, I haven't organized any functions that would welcome us. Pre-pandemic, they have planned this, but they could not. And I'm today very, very, very happy to be back at this amazing international seminar. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, dear delegates, for sharing your words of experience of this very first two-day international seminar conducted by St. Joseph College of Education. Your words of encouragement and motivation will really taken into consideration, where we'll analyze it and appropriately act on it, which will definitely take us to better level for the next time. Thank you so much.
I take immense pride to invite Dr. Asha P. Petros, Assistant Professor of St. Joseph College of Education, to speak a few words on the release of edited book on international seminar.
Good evening, one and all. I take pleasure in announcing that we are releasing the edited book on emerging trends, innovation, challenges in higher education, which is a collection of edited papers on the themes innovative practices in higher education, peace education and non-violence education, techno-pedagogical skills for 21st century, multidisciplinary and holistic education, women empowerment and inclusive education and equitable education. And it is also peer-reviewed by the expert panel. May I now request Most Reverend Dr. K. William, the Bishop of Mysore, to kindly release our edited book.
Thank you, His Excellency, and thank you all. Ken Poirot says, "Today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want." I consider it as a great honor to invite His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. K.A. William, Bishop of Mysore, President of Mysore Diocesan Educational Society, to deliver the presidential address.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Professor Dr. Giridhar Rao, the new Joint Director, Collegiate of Education, Mysore. Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, the Secretary and Correspondent of St.Joseph's College of Education. All the Reverend Fathers, CEOs, our friend Mr. Hemant, all the heads of various institutions attached to MDAs in Mysore, the principal, Mrs. Priya, the coordinator of this international seminar, Mrs. Asha, and all the staff of St. Joseph's College of Education, dear students, all those who have come from far and near to present the papers, and our guests here. First and foremost, I congratulate, I thank and impart God's blessings and all those who have organized this beautiful international seminar, those who are involved and those who are part and parcel of this seminar. Congrats, God's blessings to you all. In fact, yesterday I was supposed to be here for the inauguration, and I am happy that Bishop Valedictory is here. You know, he is my professor. Jesus says, no student is greater than the master. So he is the right person, and I am happy to be here this evening. Well, if you just think, looking within us and around us, what is the reality of life? If you just think for yourselves, what is real? And if I ask you, what is real? And we may say, surely God and all those connected to our spiritual life, surely. But then, we have a wonderful philosopher, Greek philosopher, Heraclitus. He says, change is the only reality. Change is the only reality. And it is so much true when you look back. The civilization of mankind, all that was in the past, you see changes are taking place practically every day. And these days, say for few decades now, these changes are very rapid, very fast. Our science and technology is driving us towards changes in life. There are many changes in the trends, changes in the innovations, changes in the challenges. And it is true within us, we see these around us too, we notice this. This being the case, you see in reality of life, when you go for a function somewhere, when you go for a dinner or a marriage party somewhere, you know what they do? First, for the welcome drink, they give artificial flavored lemon drink, no? But at the end of your dinner, they give an original, natural lemon with their finger bowl. This is life. Changes are taking place. The reality of life are changing. And now what is that we need to do? Basically as people in the society, and much more what we call educated ones, and the teacher educators or those who are studying in the College of Education. The biggest challenge for us today is we find it difficult to adopt. We need to adopt to the realities, the trends that are changing and which we notice in and around. Many times our individual way of thinking, our individual way of going about is different. But then we have to cope up with this situation, whether at home, whether in the institution, whether in the society. We need to. But then, when we adopt with this type of changing trends, innovative ways of going about and the challenges, let's not forget the base, the patrimony, what we call, cannot change. And what we call values. Values cannot change. The whole scenario, we cannot afford to say change is a reality and we cannot give up what we call the human values. Something connected to heart, something to connected to our very true, genuine relationship. That we cannot afford to lose. So in education, though the way you teach, the teaching, what you call aspects, whatever the teaching aids, whatever you use, how to impart it, how to go about, things will change. But then that value-based education, when it comes to imparting towards the growth of the development of the personality of the other, is something with which we cannot simply compromise. This we need to keep in mind, not to understand, but to put in reality. Well, what is more important is, you as teachers already, the ones who are preparing to be teachers tomorrow, you have to have a focus on certain things. You know, when you meet a person, a new day, you always ask you questions, you know. You always ask the question, how are you? You say. Had your breakfast? You say. How are you keeping fine? We say. And we are not upset when we ask these questions. Chanagidiya, utaita, all this we are not. But I wonder, one question when someone asks, we get really upset. Buddhi diya. Why do you get upset? Buddhi diya. Do you have sense? Perhaps people get upset because how this guy have come to know. And this aspect, I tell you, you cannot have a certificate to qualify you. You can get a certificate for your post-graduation, for your BA, for your PhD, all that. To have sense, I don't think anyone gives a certificate, you know. But in reality of life, this is something very important. We are educators, and we are becoming teachers tomorrow. I don't want to use the word educated teachers. You know what is educated teachers? Normally teachers are educated, but when they don't have this buddhi or common sense, the reality of life situations to adopt with and go on, sometimes we become uneducated teachers. This teaching profession is to educate someone, to light and enlighten someone, and for which I should have light. I should be enlightened with. I should have something to give to others. And when I don't have, how can I give to the other? It's not just the academics, not just the content aspect. It is not just what they learn in the classroom or the labs. It's something for their life. Something for their life. In today's context, this is lacking, my dear friends. We may have big and better qualifications, certificates, all our tags and brands, but then in reality, basically we may not be human beings. Basically, where we don't have a heart to understand, heart to show our love and affection towards others, heart to care. One of the poets I just happened to remember, hope you know that in Tamil that is one, Thiruvalluvar. Satisfied teacher in your life. Well, this St. Joseph's College of Education is in the golden year, 50 years of their service, and I'm happy and grateful to all those stalwarts who have served our institution and the present one. You will notice the present one. All are young and energetic. They are all with a zeal, totally giving themselves for the students and for the institution. While congratulating Mrs. Priya and her team, Father Vijay, the management, the students, I wish you all the best in years to come, especially for the next month when you are going for the NAC. Surely God will bless you. Do well and take care.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your words of wisdom and inspiration.
The reward of a thing well done is having done it. However, we would be falling short of our duty if we do not recognize the thing well done and encourage it. May I now request Dr. Priya Matthew, Principal of St. Joseph's College of Education, to propose the vote of thanks.
His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. K.A. William, Bishop of Mysore and President of MDES, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Secretary and Correspondent, MDES, Dr. Giridhar Rao, MS, Joint Director of Collegiate Education, Mysuru, Reverend Father Madhulai Muthu, Treasurer, MDES, Reverend Father Avinash, Administrator, MDES, Reverend Father Arogya Anthony, Priest in charge at St.Joseph Central Schools, Dr. Asha P. Patros, CEOs, heads of the institutions, invited guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to all. As the curtain falls on the two-day scholarly dynamics of this international seminar, I stand here with a heart full of gratitude to the Almighty and to everyone whose significant collaboration has taken this seminar to its desired goals. I am prompted to recall the word of Robin Sharma here. Challenges are hard at the beginning, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. For St. Joseph's College of Education, Mysuru, it is all a gorgeous feeling of joy and gratitude. With a glorious 50 years of quality education in the service of humanity, the college stands in respect for and prayerful gratitude to all the presidents, secretaries, priests, principals, students, staff and the community around who made this journey fruitful and most beneficial to the society in and around this country. This international seminar on higher education, emerging trends, challenges and innovations in collaboration with International Gandhian Initiatives for Non-Violence and Peace, India and Canada, is one of the outstanding scholarly activities in the recent past and in general and in this Golden Jubilee year of the college in particular. I fondly acknowledge the collaboration of IGINP, especially Dr. Jill Carr Harris, Lead Coordinator, International J Jagat 2020 and IGINP India and Canada, Mrs. Sudha Srinivasa Reddy, Founder Member of IGINP India, as well as His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. Anthony Varapalli, Bishop Emeritus, Diocese of Mysore. Without much ado, I would like to enter into my duty at this accelerating juncture to express my gratitude on behalf of St. Joseph's College of Education, Mysore. At the outset, it's a matter of great joy for all of us to have the presence of His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. K. William, the Bishop of Mysore and President of Mysore Diocesan Educational Society. The college acknowledges his blessings and support in the welfare of this institution. We owe a lot to His Excellency in all our landmark achievements. We are honored to have you amidst us during this important occasion. Besides his overloaded pastoral engagements, His Excellency was so kind and eager to be with us, to encourage and appreciate us with his, as always, words of wisdom and knowledge. On behalf of St. Joseph's College of Education, I would like to wholeheartedly thank His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. K. William. Thank you, Your Excellency. It gives immense joy to thank Dr. Giridhar Rao, MS, the Joint Director of Collegiate Education, Mysuru, on this valedictory function. As the Joint Director, he has helped St. Joseph's College of Education in various ways. He was kind to accept our invitation and come over here and deliver the most befitting and scholarly valedictory address. Dear sir, your presence has made a huge difference to the valedictory function of this international seminar. Thank you so much. I extend our gratitude to the Special Officer NEP Dr. Hema Chandra, Associate Professor, amidst us today during this international program with us. Thank you, sir. colleges, Sathagalli and Ramanahalli, and Reverend Father Arogya Antony, the priest in charge of St.Joseph Central School, Vijayanagar and Elvara. We acknowledge your gracious presence and constant support in organizing this event. Thank you, dear Reverend Fathers. Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, the Secretary of Mysore Diocesan Educational Society, has been a strong pillar of support behind this two-day international seminar. Despite huge commitment and work style, he was most approachable wherever we needed his support. As a person with a high judiciousness and mentoring acumen and an administrative and management stalwart, his constant support has been absolutely praiseworthy, and without him, his event would not have been successful. Together with the staff and students of St. Joseph's College of Education, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you, dear Reverend Father. The success of this seminar was largely due to the young and dynamic priest, Reverend Father Avinash, the administrator of MDS and priest in charge of Jailashmipuram campus. He was solely responsible to put the vision into reality under the constant guidance and inputs given by Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, the secretary. The wonderful ambience of this campus today, the facelift to the auditorium, is a culmination of his hard work. He has literally worked hard day and night. I, along with the staff and students, gratefully acknowledge your contributions. You always ensure that everything should be far better than whatever we actually planned. On behalf of the staff and students, I would like to thank you, dear Reverend Father Avinash, for all your efforts. Dr. Asha P. Patros, my colleague, IQAC coordinator and seminar convener of this two-day international seminar, has well coordinated with the management, various committees and many service providers, ensuring that everything goes fine. She has proved to be a role model by keeping her graceful smile even under great pressure, projecting herself as if she was doing things effortlessly. Thank you, dear ma'am. The most significant part of this international seminar is that we have a good number of delegates from various parts of the country and abroad, namely our eminent resource persons, Dr. Jill Carr Harris, lead coordinator and founder of IGIN, Delegate, professor and chairman, PG Department of Education, Kumbu University, Shimoga, Dr. Soni Mary Varghese, assistant professor, Pete Memorial Training College, Kerala, and Dr. K. Tyagu, assistant professor, Central University of Kerala, and for overwhelming number of paper presenters and eminent personalities for technical sessions. I thank all of them on behalf of St. Joseph's College of Education. I express my heartfelt gratitude to those who chaired the paper presentation session, Dr. Rema, former principal RIE, Dr. Lingama Betsur, Professor, Department of Education and Chairperson, Board of Studies, University of Mysore, Dr. Muthu Malesh, former Principal, Vivekananda College of Education, Arsikare, Dr. Ashra B.M., Principal, the Institute of Onkamal College of Education, Dr. Sita K.R., Assistant Professor, SNM Training College, Muthukunnam, Kerala, Dr. Pushpa, Chairperson, Department of Studies in Education, University of Mysore, and Dr. Sheila, Professor, University of Mysore. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our CEOs, Mr. Moses Jayashekhar, Mrs. Joyce Lobo, Mr. Sebi Maveli, for their timely feedback and guidance. Thank you, dear CEOs. I would like to specially thank the principals and heads of our colleges and schools, Jailashmipuram, Vijayanagar, Elvan, Rajinagar, St. Matthias and Sathagalli campuses. They, together with the staff, have contributed a lot in the preparation of this seminar. We appreciate your wholehearted cooperation with us. Thank you, dear principals, HMs and staff. Today, I stand with a big salute to my dear colleagues, students and staff. They are the backbone of this event. they are my strength. They had to sometimes review and change their plans, had to receive feedback and corrections from many corners with calmness and poise, stay back after the working hours, etc. They demonstrated their leadership qualities in everything they were entrusted to do. I take this opportunity to acknowledge their wholehearted cooperation and valuable contribution. Thank you, my dear staff and students. I would like to thank all those who take care of the audio-visual aspect of this program, the media personnel, the catering service providers, and the security personnel. They entrusted that this event was executed as planned. Once again, a big thank you to all of you. God bless.
We take this opportunity to extend our sincere thanks and our gratitude towards you, ma'am, and take this opportunity to salute you back for your guidance and encouragement throughout this seminar in making it a grand success. Here comes the end of the valedictory function. I would like to thank all of you for finding some time to be the part of this seminar and putting a mark in Josephite's family by upholding the values to love, to know, and to serve others. We now request all of you to rise in honor of national anthem.
I request all of you to remain standing as the dignitaries exit the hall.
Once again, we extend our gratitude to the distinguished guest, His Excellency, Most Reverend Dr. K.A. William, Dr. Giridhar Rao, Reverend Father Vijay Kumar, Reverend Father Madhuri Muthu, Reverend Father Avinash, Reverend Father Arokya Antoni, and heads of various institutions. Thank you one and all for making it a great success.
Small announcement for all the participants, kindly bear with me for 2 seconds. As we have already announced that our edited book with the selected articles will be publishing soon. We have already come out with the cover page. So we will be intimating you regarding the further procedures. So those who will agree to pay for that publication, and it will be a peer-reviewed journal, and we will intimate you, and please cooperate with us. Today you can collect your certificate, your attendance slip, and have tea and coffee with us. And thank you very much for your cooperation for the last 2 days.